Hello, Diane. I've got some questions here relating to parents' concerns about children, because a parent can actually talk to Relate about their relationship with their child. It's not just... So they can do that, can't they?
Yeah, we break it down into different services, and family counselling is anybody who wants to be part of the family, who wants to attend. So that could be parents and children, or it could be a parent and a child. The young people service is available from children who are 10 years old and who can make the decision themselves that they want counselling. But what we do is we always meet the carer and invite the carer in to meet the counsellor, meet the client, the young person, and we'll try and sort of set the framework about confidentiality, about safety, about what we're trying to achieve. And the parent is always invited in to see and meet the counsellor. So it's family friendly in that sense. And then the young person can make their own decision about whether they're comfortable with inevitably somebody who's going to be a similar generation to their parents, or perhaps even a lot older, kind of almost like a grandparent figure. And you have to work with the reality that there's going to be a big generation gap. But strangely enough, that seems to work. The young people who work with our trained talk time counsellors seem to have some really good experiences, and a lot of the work is done through play. We do also have a service which is for 5 to 10-year-olds, but most of that's called play therapy, and that does involve a parent sometimes being in the room full time. But the talk time service, which also runs in schools as well, is independent access to talking to someone who just provides a different framework on problems. We're not there to cure problems, we're there to help people manage issues, because some young people are dealing with a great deal in their lives. It could be bullying, it could be parental separation, it could be sibling problems, step parenting. I think there isn't anything that we haven't kind of met over the last 10 or 15 years, and it seems to be a very reassuring service that somebody else who's just slightly outside the family can provide a sense of hope about some of the issues.
I know you've just mentioned some of the issues that you can deal with in relation to a child, but I've also got a list of some other issues which I think you did say that you can also cover.
Yeah.
I mean, you mentioned about parental separation and things like that, but also you can deal with difficulties and conflict in relationships at school with peers, and also bullying, which is it's a big issue for some young people. Yeah. Pregnancy, sexual identity, new relationships, loss and bereavement, school transition, and also this is also this must be quite a hard topic: witnessing domestic violence within a family. Yeah. So I mean, you as an organisation can help support families who are experiencing all these things with regards to creating a better relationship.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big part of our work is, unfortunately, the kind of power dynamics that are happening with some adults that they're exposing their young children to, and it's a very sensitive and difficult issue, and we've got to bear in mind the kind of safeguarding that's around with that issue, because in a sense, the legal framework now is saying that it's a crime to be exposed to continual systemic domestic abuse, and it has a severe impact on children. So it's something that we work with the families, but also perhaps with other agencies. We're not the only people to help. I think we're part of a kind of wider spectrum of services, because domestic abuse is often about isolation, and I think if we can counter isolation by being multilateral with our approach, then we start to instill some hope that this isn't always going to be the way it is.
I know we've just mentioned about domestic abuse, but I just thought I'll mention as well that the new law that I think happened at the end of last year with regards to domestic abuse can also be classified as emotional, not just physical. It's emotional abuse as well, and it has a major impact on children and young adults, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So it's not just physical.
It goes across the whole continuum of behaviours, and actually the emotional coercive aspect of domestic abuse is probably the most difficult to work with on some level, because people are very, very frightened to sometimes talk about it, and their behaviour starts to leak out. Perhaps at school, they start to not attend, or they're not achieving as well. And very often there is a story behind there of kind of some fear and terror of parents' conflict at home.
Does your counselling also help parents as well when there are difficulties? And do you ever talk with children without the parents being in the room?
In reality, everybody who comes to Relate is an individual client, and we wouldn't talk to anybody else about their issues without their express permission. So we're not having secretive conversations with parents that the children don't know about. They are the client. We would be encouraging conversations to happen between the child and the parents. If we can help to facilitate that kind of disclosure or conversation, then we will. But our core value is that what they say is confidential. So we need to seek their permission if they want us to talk to somebody else.
And are there times you bring the whole family together, possibly even additional members of the family, possibly?
We do offer a service called family counselling, and I think perhaps that's a service which yes, does enable other people to come. Not everybody in the family wants to come, and who decides what's the family anyway? We help the people who want to access help. We don't intrude on people's way of living if they don't want to come and seek therapeutic help. That's their choice. We help the ones who want to be helped.
Thanks very much, Diane. Thanks for the interview. You've highlighted some really interesting things with regards to relationships, and you've talked about supporting people in ways I actually didn't know. I have a greater understanding now what Relate cover and the diversity of the people they look after, and I think that's absolutely great.
Thank you. Yeah, I've really enjoyed it.
Thanks for coming in.
Cheers.
You're locked into Interviews FM.